Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I am here at the Danish National Championship with the Danish National Champ, Christian Foldager.
Hello.
So what did you play?
I played Sky Striker. So I wanted to play a deck that for like a more variant tournament was able to play every time and create like complicated game states where you could outplay your opponent as opposed to playing like something where you compare hands. And I'll take you through the list. So I played 3 Ray, 1 Rose. Since you already saw the 1 Rose, you can correctly assume I'm not playing Desires. I think that card is fine, but I don't think it makes up for the extra bricks you have to play, which is the 2nd Rose, the 2nd Lemming Skate, and the 3rd Widow Anchor. I don't think those cards are very good, and I've never missed any of those cards otherwise. Like, the Desires making your good hands really broken doesn't really matter as much as how bad those cards makes your hand, especially going second. To supplement the consistency a little bit, I played a spicy tech. I played 1 Albion the Shrouded Dragon. Since you're playing a deck that can play Fallen and the Virtuous, this is effectively an upstart goblin that deck thins your deck for 1 more card, which means that if you are bricking, you want to not draw the Fallen and the Virtuous, you want to draw like an engine card, right? So this is like the best supplementary consistency you can have. Some people play the Radiant Typhoon cards for this reason, but I think that they are not the best into Fuvalos, Droll, and Lockbird, and I think that it creates a lot of redundancy in your deck. Like when you're drawing off the engage later in the turn, you're drawing a lot of cards that do kind of similar things. And also the MST is just not that strong in the format. Like I'm of course still playing Vision, but I'm not playing the MST anywhere.
That makes sense. Did you miss the extra consistency at all?
I bricked 1 game going first, and I think that you just accept that that's the trade-off for having a deck that is much, much, much better going second.
Yes, I very much agree.
I played 3 Ghost Bell and 3 Ash Blossom. These cards are hand traps that double as board breakers into both Cool Tune and Branded, which were the 2 decks I expected the most. They also are quite good into the Radiant Typhoon deck, and the reason they are also in the list primarily is that post-side, when Branded tries to Sinkeeper lock you, you can bell the Ecclesia Synchro to tag out to deny them access to Cartesia, because Cartesia is a required material for the Gragunol. So I keep them in post-side to try to not get Sinkeeper locked. I play 1 Droll and Lockbird. I had 39 cards in this deck that I was happy with, and I wanted 1 more side deck space, and I was a little scared of people at, again, like a more variance tournament, playing more high-rolly combo decks, basically. So I could not quite commit to playing 2, because I do think the card is not amazing into the Cool Tune and Branded matchup, but I did want to include 1 as like I call it pigeonhole theory, right? Like you fill your deck up with all the good cards, and then you stop when you run out of good cards. I had 39, and I wanted 1 Droll for the ability to have 1 more side deck space as well.
Well, that at least logically makes sense, but how did it turn out in practice? Was the Droll good for you? Was it bad, or did you just never see it?
I never saw it game 1, I think. But again, I think the theory is sound, so I don't think it matters like what actually happened, right? But yeah, it's like a good hedge against the combo decks, which are the decks that this deck struggles with the most. So it's not that it's good in the format, it just fixes the bad matchups for this deck, which also includes Mitsurugi and the Mirror Match, and Doomsday, obviously. For spells, played 3 Engage, Shock, 3 Linkage, the Hornet Drones, the Lemming Skate, 2 Widow Anchor, I already spoke about this, 3 Fallen the Virtuous, 1 Rhoda, 3 Vision, 3 Upstart, 1 Talents, 1 Called By, 3 Droplet, and 3 Crown. I think all of that is pretty self-explanatory, and I've mentioned the interesting choices.
Just going to stop you real quick. The majority of striker lists I see contain either 2 Crown or 2 Droplet, if not 2 of both, and Shark Cannon. What is your idea on those cards?
Shark Cannon is a terrible card to draw, and it's also a terrible card to search because your opponent will know you have it. So it's just a card that requires a lot of setup, and it doesn't play super well if they know you have it. So I don't really like it. And you can beat I've said this all weekend, but I think the Branded matchup for this deck is actually quite good. I know a lot of people will disagree with me, but every time I play, I beat them. So for me, it's been no problem. And maybe it's the Desires, like, because you can lose the grind game, but obviously that happens much less if you don't play Desires. Then you said 2 and 2, why?
Some people have played 2.
So I'll explain. Yeah, obviously. So the idea is that when we get to the side, I'll show you I play 2 Thrust for this reason, but I think quick plays are exempt from this because the game plan for Striker is break the board and set up something, and quick plays do both those things. So even if you draw, let's say 2 crowns, you can use 1 to break and then set 1 for the follow-up, right? So I have no problem seeing 2 of the quick plays, but you are right, for like the hard ones per turn normal spells. I agree with that logic.
Yep, I agree with all of this.
That's because we talk a lot. So the side deck, I played 3 Fuma for the combo decks. I played 3 Crow to stop Sinkeeper Lock. It did that. That was nice. Played the 1 Droll for the reason I mentioned earlier. Played 1 Lightning Storm, 1 Duster, and 2 Thrust. And this is exactly the logic we just talked about. You don't want to draw these with the Engage and so on, and they're hard ones per turn. Then the last 4 best cards in the side deck are 3 Accusation and 1 Judgment. And these cards are very, very, very broken, especially in this deck, because this card can both protect you from Lightning Storm and Duster, but it can also just ruin your opponent's grind game, which is the game this deck tries to play, right? So it just works great on both fronts.
Yep, no, I have nothing to add here. This all makes sense.
Right, and then for the last and the least interesting thing, played 3 Zero, 3 of 1 of each of the 2s, 3 Kagari, 1 Hayate, 1 Shizuku, 1 Amatsu, and 1 of each of these, and I don't think that's interesting at all.
Yeah, some people like to play, to switch out the 3rd copies of Kagari and or Zero for cards like Typhon, SP, Combined Maneuver.
I had very many games where I needed all of those. I don't remember having a game where I was like, oh, it would be nice to have an SP or a lose button right now. So, at least for me, I didn't miss any of those cards, but I did have a lot of games where I went through the 3rd Kagari because it was more, like I couldn't afford to go Lemning Skate at the time, right? So I needed the 3rd one to be able to keep playing. So I think the flexibility that offers is worth much more than those like random 1 in 100 games that those cards come up maybe. Like this comes up every other match.
That very much makes sense. Once again, congratulations to you for winning the tournament. And do you have any closing thoughts, any shout-outs, any takeaways?
So obviously, shout out to Roselle. I don't want to take all the credit, but I am the one who told her to play Sky Striker for Worlds, and she did very, very well there. And shout out to you and the cameraman. Shout out to all the guys, the Onzo guys for hosting the tournament. It was a great experience. And yeah, I hope to be back next year. Oh yeah, and shout out Claire, because I promised.
All right, well, thank you very much. And once again, congratulations.
Thank you.